back before we met and stuff like that, I pretty much was to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm completely okay not being married. At this point, it was pretty much off the table. It was like, I mean, it's not that I was closed off to it or like, it'd be cool if I, got married, but it wasn't on some like, if I don't get married, my life is not going to be, my life will be incomplete if I don't get married. I was not there. Yeah, you say what you want to say.
Dressed in all black like the Omen. You know me.
All right, man. Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Buffet Podcast.
Yeah, hit that
Brought to you by your favorite hosts, Brandan and Ciandra. Once again.
Period. Pooh.
Appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode for another week. This is episode 113.
Oh, and today is 113.
Oh snap! Yeah, we're recording this on the 13th.
Synchronized.
Yeah, and just to get it started. Also, we are on the road to 200, so we're trying to get that as soon as possible. So if your first time or you're a returning listener, watcher, and you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe.
Follow us on our journey as we explore new relationship topics as our relationship grows and expands. So you learn something new. You might be walking the same path as us. Great opportunity to figure it out together. We're all in this together. I know it's kind of good.
It sounded pretty good. All right, now you killed it. Okay. You killed it. All right, so how you feeling, babe?
I'm feeling good. Snacked up, so I got energy.
Boy, we just came back from a
90-minute workout.
90-minute workout? Oh, yeah. I'm tired, you know what I'm saying?
Big calorie burn. Gonna continue to burn into tomorrow, so we gotta stay
calorie burner.
Snacked up.
My workout will do it for me. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into the Moose Boosh. This is a video I found on TikTok. It's Stephen A. Smith talking about men choosing to marry or how they choose to marry. It'll make more sense when we watch it. So let me go ahead and pull it up on help.
Find dudes that's about marriage. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you why you're not gonna find dudes that are about marriage. You know why you're not gonna find it? Because men are not really interested in marriage. What they're interested in is you. And because it's you, they're willing to get married. You want to get married just to say you're married? You want to get married so you can have somebody home? If you have any kind of confidence in yourself as a man, it's not about marriage. It's about her. And because it's her, you're willing to say, I want you for the rest of my life. I can't even imagine being with anyone but you. When I think about who I want to sleep next to, who I want to wake up next to, who I want to cook for me, who I want to cook for, who I want to take out to the movies, who I want to take out to dinner, who I want to go on vacation with, who I don't mind opening my checkbook to take care of and to look out for and to cover and vice versa. Sweetheart, you the one. It ain't about living with you. It's about the fact that I can't live without you. That's a guy. Are y'all that way? Ebony? Are y'all that way? I'm talking to women, not to you specifically, Ebony. I'm just speaking to women. That's the question that you have to ask yourself.
They're not.
See, when men can be or come across as a bit chauvinistic, never an excuse to be misogynistic, but to be chauvinistic, meaning I want a woman to play this role or that role in my life. When you are a woman and you are dating a man, understand that the things that you may capitulate to, you're not capitulating to it for a man. You're capitulating to it for your man, the man you love, the man you trust, the man you want, the man you crave. That guy is the guy you're making adjustments and modifications and alterations for, dare I say. That is what y'all have to get. And when you're getting that,
Yeah, we can go ahead and let that go right there. Wrap it up right there. Okay. My man was cooking. I'll let him go for a little bit longer.
I feel like he's a preacher who does sports.
Right. He
commentary, because the intonation in his voice, like the inflection. Yeah, it's very like, y'all not listening. You know,
y'all not hearing me.
Y'all not hearing me. I say it again. You know, it gives very that. So maybe that's why
it gets our attention. You know, the preacher speaks like that because it gets the attention, and repeating yourself on some like Dr. Umar, repeating it multiple times gets people's attention.
Donations. Yeah, you're right.
I came across that clip. Now that you've heard it, she didn't hear this before I played it just now. Fresh ears. So tell me, what are your initial thoughts?
Okay, so I think that there's two parts to the video. Part one of it, to me, sounds like the idea of marriage for men. And a man making a decision to get married is not based off of the ideal of marriage. More often than not, it's based off of the reality of the person that he wants to marry. Like, I understand what comes along with marriage, and I wouldn't be willing to do what comes along with marriage if it wasn't you that I was marrying. And so I'm choosing you to marry. And I think he's saying that on the other side, it doesn't necessarily seem like women are attached to or interested in marrying you, the person. They're interested in the idea of marriage. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I feel like that's a part of the disconnect that he's saying is happening. And I guess I can only speak for myself. I do feel like there was a point in my life where marriage, the thing, well, no, that wasn't true. Marriage, the thing, has always been important, interesting to me, something that I wanted to pursue. Partnership, interesting, something that I wanted to pursue. But I was never a person who was like, I will sacrifice the person to get into the marriage. I don't feel like that's the right choice, because that's the quickest way to end up in divorce. Like, I don't think that I would be willing to marry just anybody for the sake of saying that I was married. And there was a point in my life where I was like, well, this person that I'm with, like, I'm kind of interested in them. Maybe I should see what it would be like for us to pursue a more serious, more long-term type of relationship. And I could only convince myself for a week. Like, I couldn't even get myself to be in that much denial to think that, like, that person was the person that I actually wanted to settle down with. It would be very much settling, not settling down. Or I guess even in the idea of settling down, or that turn of phrase, is not what I think of as my experience in our relationship. I feel like I am laying a foundation. I am building something. I am planting a seed and growing roots. That's not the same as the phrase settling down, which is like, we have been in a space of being unsettled, unstable, unsturdy, and we're trying to now, like, find some solid ground to be able to, like, rest our heads on. And that's not one, that's not what I'm looking for. Two, that isn't my experience of our relationship. It really is just like, we are nesting ourselves into our relationship to be able to build off of this fertile ground that we already have laid. And so from that perspective, from my lived experience with those things, I don't agree that marriage for all women, or even for the majority of women, or at least I hope not. Come on, Jesus. That it is just the ideal of marriage. I think that is an experience that most women have, that, like, the ideal of marriage is something that they would like to attain, a goal maybe that they have for themselves. But the more emotionally mature you are, the older you get, you realize, actually, I don't want to be married just to say that I've been married. I want to be married to be able to have the life that I want with the person that I'm married, to be able to experience a healthy and a happy marriage. But I think that comes with age and emotional maturity. And some people get it sooner, but there's also those people who get married in their 20s and get divorced in their 20s because that first marriage was about the idea of marriage and not about the person. What do you think?
You raised some good points. Excuse me. I'm was only looking at it from the man's how he was speaking about how men look at it. Like, I'm marrying you. Like, you were the person that I was like, okay, I can, for everything I've heard and the trials and tribulations that I've heard marriage is supposed to be about, I choose you to go through that with, because I feel like we can, like, you make that. I'm willing to go through that, those bad times, or potential bad times, or the trials and tribulation, because it's you, like you said. And I 100% agree with what he said, because I'm thinking, like, back before we met and stuff like that, I pretty much was to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm completely okay not being married. At this point, it was pretty much off the table. It was like, I mean, it's not that I was closed off to it, or like, it'd be cool if I, got married, but it wasn't on some like, if I don't get married, my life is not going to be, my life will be incomplete if I don't get married. I was not there. In my mind, it was just, I think it was, if I met a fire woman and she really wanted to get married, okay, cool, I would do it. But it was just, I'm just looking for what comes my way. I'm looking for, ideally, I'm looking for a good woman that we can vibe with. And if you want to have a kid or two or something like together, we can do it. But I wasn't looking at it like I'm entering this dating thing with the idea that I will be married at the end of it. I had no intentions of being married. When we met, I had no intentions of even potentially like settling down into a long-term relationship for real. Like, all the one before I was like, nah, I see myself being married in the future, but I'm not there yet. I'm just kind of out here, just kind of see what happens type situation.
Let's just see.
Let's just see. And then I met you, and then I had to it was I ain't gonna hold you. It was frustrating. It was frustrating because it was like, oh, I'm just getting ready. I'm out here. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. I'm in a position. I feel like I finally reached a place in my life financially, and like with the confidence in myself, and just like how my lifestyle had got my lifestyle set up, that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have some fun. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm living in DC. And met you. I was like, damn, this is a good woman. I was like, I gotta lock it in, but it's like, damn, why couldn't I have met you maybe like a month or two? Let me just get out here. But I was like, I can't control when the person for me is going to walk into my life, and clearly it happened right then. And I was like, I'd be a fool to not pursue and see where this is going to go. Yeah, but at the end, I was like, damn, she got me already.
I hear that. A small part of me, I don't necessarily take offense to it, because I understand, like, a part of the difference in our experience is that I had intentional time to be like, I'm just going to say yes to all the days. I'm just going to try all the people, do all the things. Let me just see, like, throw some things up at the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
And at the time that we met, I was like, I am this age and I would like to be married by this time in my life. It's probably time for me to start being a little bit more serious and intentional and seeking partnership, and like who I date and what my intention is behind dating. I don't think that I walked into our date or our beginning stages of our dating like, if he's not my boyfriend in X amount of time, it's not going to work. But I do think that if something was going to happen, I was ready for it to happen and okay and at peace with it happening, because ultimately that was the place that I wanted my life to go. I guess what I hear you saying is that there is maybe even just a question mark of like, I wonder what would have happened for me, what other experiences you would have been able to have if you had a little bit more time. Not necessarily that you would, and correct me if I'm wrong, not necessarily that you would have preferred to be single for longer and like have more experiences, or not necessarily that you would have preferred to delay the start of our relationship in order to be single for longer, but just that in being single for longer, you would have been able to have some different experiences. And there is a feeling of like, dang, I didn't get to do those things. I didn't get to have my best dating life, right? Like all my dating life before that wasn't necessarily the peak, or wasn't what it was at that point, and I missed out on that opportunity. Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah,
closer to that one. It wasn't. I never once thought like, damn, can I delay this as long as I possibly can? I already knew it was like, nah, it's either I gotta shit or get off the pot immediately. So I was like, obviously I made the right decision, I believe. But yeah, it was maybe I didn't anticipate reaching the final level so quickly. You know, it's just like I'm just starting. I feel like I'm on level 1, level 2. I'm things are going smoothly. I'm cranking up. I imagine I have a few more levels to go, and then maybe I'll find you a little further down the line. I didn't anticipate, like, as soon as I got in, you was right there.
That's, like, whoo, shit. Listen, I mean, I hear you, and I hear your perspective. That's a blessing, babe.
Oh, I agree 1,000%. That it was absolutely a blessing. I think it probably, if I would have met you further down the line and I had to go through a lot of the stories that I'm hearing on social media, I might not have been the same person. I might have been a little bit more. I might have been, probably would have been a little bit more jaded. So I understand, like, in retrospect, it was like it was probably a blessing for me to have found you, like, so relatively quickly. I did have some of those experiences, those shitty experiences, but it happened. I've met you relatively quickly within the dating scheme, especially with the pandemic going on. It definitely. It was like a trial by fire, you know, and people weren't as free, so you had to be a little bit more intentional, if only because you didn't want to fucking die of like coughing too hard or not being able to breathe.
Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I feel like it's a blessing, and who knows where life is going to take us and what other experiences that you have, or ways in which you'll get that experience secondhand, right? Like, some of your friends are still single, so you'll have the opportunity to still hear what it is like in there, and
it don't sound great.
Yeah.
I'd never regret it. Let me just assuage any concern that you may have, or people listening or watching may be like, "Man, it sounds like he really he's thinking about trying to be back." I have never once thought about, damn, maybe. What would it be like back out here on the streets? I was so thinking, no. I am quite happy where I'm at. I'm quite happy that I am insulated and, like, I'm out. I have no skin in the game when it comes to this whole singlehood thing and trying to be out here like that. I'm happy. I'm great. I'm glad I got out when I did.
Okay.
Facts. Boy, it don't look good out there for real. Oh my God.
Yeah.
For either different men or women.
Yeah.
It just don't look good out here, boy.
Yeah. It's not, from what I hear. It's not impossible, but there are definitely challenges. And if you have to choose your hard, right? Like, I'd much rather have the hard of you, like the heart of trying to figure it out and work it out with you, than the heart of trying to figure it out and work it out with multiple people, or trying to find someone to be willing to figure it out with. You know, I think that those they're both challenging, but they're different types of challenge, and you got to choose which one will work best for you. Yeah. But I hear you, babe. And I guess the other thing that I'm thinking as it relates to this, which I recognize is a tangent from what he originally said, is I guess everybody has a different path to, like, finding marriage, finding long-term partnership. And I think what I'm curious to see in the long term is people like yourself who had dating experiences. And for the most part, like, there were some unpleasant dating experiences, but for the most part, it's like, I wasn't really out there like that. Is there a time in marriage or in partnership in the long term where you're like, actually, I want to have some of those experiences? Like, actually, I would like to be able to explore these things that I wasn't able to explore, or I need to learn these things about myself, and the best way for me to learn these things is through engaging, interacting with other people, because I don't think that you're the only person who's had that experience. And more often than not, I feel like I see it for people who have gotten married younger. So, like, I think about Deval and Khadeen, who have been together since they were 18 and are, like,
high school sweethearts.
Yeah, like, people who have had that long of a history together where exploring other people just didn't happen in the way that it did for other people in their 20s. And so you get to this place where you're like, I'm kind of curious. I just want to see. It's hard to not take it personally, but I logically understand why that happens, why that kind of feeling erupts or develops, and I'm interested to see if we have to hit that crossroad. It'd be wild to be a 50-year-old bachelor, but
it would be. But, you know, if we could look at the Golden Bachelor as a reference,
that's true. Love is out here.
And even them, they was like, bro, he he's like a godsend. Like I ain't never met a man like that. He's so. I'm like, dang, just being a decent human being does not.
It's a commodity.
It's a commodity no matter what age you are.
More on the man's side. He was like, all of these ladies is great. It's hard for me to choose just one. It's hard for me to try to send these women home. Everybody falling in love with me. Them women look good, okay? All these women look good. All of them are taking good care of themselves. Like,
yeah.
I got to choose the one that is best
it was tough
for me. It wasn't necessarily like ain't no options out here. It was like I got to choose the one that's best.
Well, I'd be interested to see the reverse one. It's like the Golden Bachelorette, and just to see if it would be a similar experience. Like, dang, all these dudes are great. I'm having a tough time, and the men be like, yo, where she came from? Oh my god! But also, you got to think about like all of the bachelorettes have been married. It seemed like they have been married at least once before. Okay, of course, some of them had a little bit more tumultuous relationships and stuff like that, but for the most part, all of them had really good relationships. Most of them are single because like they didn't choose to be single. It was just like death happened. And they've been chosen before for a reason. At least I'll go back to say.
That's a good point. So like somebody loved me enough to marry me. Like I'm a catch.
There was a catch. So one caught them, and they was happy to continue to be caught until they weren't there anymore, and they had to re-enter this whole process. And then it's like, geez, it's different. It's different. And I think we've heard that before, not just from the older people, just anybody who's been in a relationship trying to go back into the dating. I think we've all heard or seen or what have you, of just like how difficult and different, so to speak, things are than when they was outside initially. Yeah. And it's going to continue to be like that. It's like how things were when we were dating. It's not going to be the same as things could be in like 20 years to say if one of us happen to be like, if something doesn't work out or one of us dies prematurely or something like that, and we got to re-enter in the dating scene. How much people are going to be dating in like 20, 30, 40 years is not going to look how it used to be for you. You're going to be like, what is going on here? What is going on here? And
yikes, that's rough. Because even dating your peers, to your point, like if the people who are still available and single are either the divorcees or the two-time divorcees, they have different lived experiences than you, who has only been married once and your marriage ended in death or divorce. The single people who have been single, you've been single 50 years. Yeah. I don't know if I want to date you, bro. What's up with you? Why?
Absolutely.
What's going on? What is going on? Or you go younger, right? And to your earlier point, like the dating rules are totally different. We're not the same generation. I don't know what you're getting into, but I don't know if I'm interested in that young man.
Yeah, that's also true. For a woman, you try to go younger, they're gonna try to, put you in positions that perhaps, saying like, what you doing? This is not what we do. This is not what this is what y'all doing now. Oh my. Yeah. Woo! And also my hip. And same thing for me.
Not my hip.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My knees. I can't.
First of all, when you said positions, I didn't think you meant sexual positions.
It was a double entendre.
Okay.
Don't even ask me how. Triple entendre or whatever. However many entendres you can pull from it.
Okay, mister.
Yeah, well, absolutely. It's going to be it would be very interesting. So
I mean, even if we don't have that experience directly, we could have some secondhand experience from a friend.
I hope not.
I hope not either, but
I hope not.
Things happen, babe.
That's true. I'm just saying I hope not. I understand like it could happen, but I'm just like, if I had to choose, if I would choose, I would hope everybody, ends up in the relationships that they would like to be in forever until we up out of here.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else? Any other final thoughts that we have on this? I guess Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were on a tangent. Okay. So I guess we can come back to the actual video. The second part of the video was sugar. The second part of the video was the idea of, as a woman, if a man has specific things that he's looking for you to do or be towards him, recognize that you are doing those things so you can better fit your partner.
Right. Your man.
Yes. It's not, I'm this way for every man anywhere.
Right. Forever. I would never cook for a man. I was like, no one is expecting you to cook for any man. I mean, like, you wouldn't cook for your man?
Yeah. you're expected to meet the wants and needs of your partner the same way that you are expecting them to meet your wants and needs. And I think that was a good call out. It was an interesting way to, like, I guess, kind of express that, but I do think it's a good call out. I think
I never heard of that. I never heard that call out. I never thought about that call out before, but in the sense that I never considered that, or I never considered the possibility that men and women may interpret that phrase differently. So I think, looking back on it, I could be wrong, where, you know, when women say, "Oh, I can never do X, Y, and Z for a man," we hear her husband or her boo or whatever she's not willing to do that thing for her man. And for us, that's a term like, wait, you're not willing to cater to me? You're not willing to do these nice things for you? But maybe for a woman, they're thinking like, I can't just do this for any man. Mm-hmm. Maybe when they say that, that's what they're saying. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I hope that's that's what's happening, and not like, oh, I'm just not going to do this thing at all, period, because what I look like doing something for a man, any man.
I think that there are people who fall on both sides. Yeah, I definitely think that there are people who believe in access to certain skills, I guess I want to say, not being available until certain status is reached in a relationship, right? Like, I'm not going to cook for you until I'm your girlfriend. I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z until I'm your wife, right? Like, that kind of idea. Like, I want to hold some things back until we are at this stage. Mm-hmm. And those people, I feel like, will also say, I don't cook for men. But it's like, I don't cook for men until they're X, Y, and Z, until they're my boyfriend, or until whatever, this part of stage of our relationship. There are other people who are saying, I don't do these things because literally I don't cook for myself. Like, I don't cook for men because I don't cook for myself, and that's not something that I do.
The same from a distance.
Yeah. And so I think that that's the distinction of where maybe people are coming from, and isn't articulated well if all of you are saying, I don't cook for men. You're not distinguishing when and where, or why that rule kind of exists for you.
They aren't speaking to the audience that they want to speak to correctly. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not using the right language for where the man in which they are hoping to be chosen from or chosen by, they are not communicating to them well, like the benefits of it. We hear, I can never do this for a man. Also, it's like, oh, word, you're not going to do that for your man? All right, you automatically up out of here. And maybe she, like you said, she meant like, I wouldn't do this until X, Y, and Z with a man. I wouldn't, I'm not having sex with a man unless we are together or what have you. That type of thing. And perhaps a little bit more specificity when it comes to to whom and when and what have you, what you're willing to do or not do, is warranted, especially for the male mind. Mm-hmm. Because when you say I can never do this for a man, we're thinking we're not going. Then like what would you do?
Yeah,
like what would you do? Because we can't say, oh, I can never pay for X, Y, and Z. I can never protect a woman. I'll never protection for a woman. Mm-hmm. They can't get no kind of protection from me. And I really meant, I'm not just going to protect any woman. I'm going to protect my woman. But how you said it, woman was like, you're not going to protect your woman? I don't like that. I'm turned off. It's over with. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
No, I think you're right, babe. But I don't think that you're saying, one of the things that you said, we could never say. You could, and people do every day.
I mean, that's true.
That's the problem. Close your mouth. Like, you don't have to say everything that comes to your mind all the time. And in fact, that is the quickest way to
talk yourself out of something.
Yes. If I go to your social media and there are all of these opinions, you speaking very loudly in a way that I disagree with, why would I choose to date you? Why would I choose to invest any more time? You're laying all your cards out on the table and not in a way that's flattering to the audience, right? Like, if you're interested in me and then I go to your social media page and I see you saying what you will and what you won't do, and sharing all of your experiences dating and what went wrong, I don't need to know everything. And I think that there are people who that is a part of the way that they make money in the world. And that is something that, as a part of being in a relationship with them, you have to sign up for and be willing to do. Yeah. But that's for those people. Not all of y'all are making money and you just sharing your opinion all willy-nilly for free. Keep it.
Or are you sharing your opinion for somebody else to make the money off of you? Like, you're going on somebody, someone takes videos, they pull up on you in public, you say your thing, they get the money, you ain't getting nothing.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that those opinions, to your point of going to your social media and you saying it's all extra loud, I'm learning things about you out of context.
Yeah.
So like, instead of getting to know you, and then we had a conversation of like, oh yeah, I'm not willing to do these things because I prefer to be in a relationship. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I learned that within the context of we're personally interacting. We're having these conversations about these things, as opposed to a 30-second clip, multiple of them popping up all over the place. And I just hear you say these things, out of context or just like bold. I'm like, ooh, it's very jarring. It can be very jarring, and I can understand like, well, you say you're not going to really do this, then, well, who am I? I'm not going to try to change your mind. What I look like? All right, move on to the next one. Mm-hmm. So, damn, men and women be talking themselves out of good relationships.
And do.
Let's go with that.
All your business. I can create an idea of what your character is based off of all that information that you just
That's true.
given up.
And once someone has an idea of who you are, it's very hard to overpower that. You had to gotta go kind of above them. You got to work even harder to overcome an initial bad review or initial bad impression, because anything you do, even objectively, it's not anything bad or what have you. Because I had this idea of you, I'm automatically looking for things that's justifying my belief in who you are.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go above and beyond. And it's kind of like once a woman has you in a friend zone, you pretty much got to save a whole bloodline and get shot a couple times. And maybe you might be able to get up out of that. Once you locked in as a friend, you got to do something wild. You got to do something different in order to dig yourself out of that. Am I making sense?
Yeah, no, you make sense. Okay. But you in that friend zone forever, sweetie. Pretty much.
If you're in the friend zone, just give up. I'm just saying, like, the probability of you getting up out of there is low. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just
very low.
Extremely
You're not even
low.
a sexual being to me.
Yeah,
you got a penis? That's crazy. I didn't see you that way.
You're a friend? It's quiet for you.
Yeah.
It's quiet for you. Yeah. All right. So we feeling good about this one?
Yeah. We can go to the actual topic.
All right.
30 minutes in.
30 minutes in. Good chat. So yeah, we got a request from, longtime listener. Know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pauline. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think we were talking about me and Rob and the group chat, or boys group chat. We were talking about
oh yeah, this is how it started. Okay, we were talking about push presents.
Oh yes.
And I don't remember what I was saying about push presents. Oh, now I'm taking one step back. We were talking about how dads don't become dads until after the baby is born, but a mom becomes a mom more often than not as soon as they have this awareness of the fact that they're pregnant, right? You start thinking about your baby, you start building a connection with your baby because it's growing inside of you, and so you get a push present from your partner because you've pushed this person out into the world. But Brandon's like, why don't men get a gift? And I was like, I don't know, when would a man get a gift? And what would that gift be significant to? So we started talking about like what name we should give this gift.
Seed gift. That's what I came to. The seed gift. Yes. I think that's the name of this episode.
And the idea being that as soon as a woman finds out that she's pregnant, because that seed has come from the man, you give the man.
Thank you for allowing me to bring life into this world.
Yeah,
you're welcome, because you wouldn't be here without me. And just like, we wouldn't be here without you. Mm-hmm. Everybody can presents. And also we went into the push gift idea is relatively new. Mm-hmm. By relatively, I've never heard of it until, I'm going to say, after the pandemic. I'm not saying it probably didn't exist before then.
Yeah, it probably did exist.
It didn't come into my awareness until pandemic, maybe a little bit after the pandemic. And how it seems like the societal norms are changing to where it appears like women are just looking for reasons to get material things, and are willing to jump on any reason in order to get those things, whether that, like you got the baby shower, the baby shower, we was already rocking with that baby shower, because that's not necessarily about you. It's about, you usually get things that's going to help you for the baby. I mean, now we got like push gifts, and now we're seeing like we got like baby moons, and I'm sure
I like a baby moon.
And I like the idea of baby moons too, but again, the baby moon technically it's not supposed to benefit what. I think it was supposed to be for the woman, like the woman go get the spa day and travel. But technically, if you do it right, I would hope it's for both of y'all, because y'all both about to go into this stressful ass time.
Yeah, it's our last time being a family of two.
So the baby moon, I'm sure there's some other things that's popping up, that it just seems like more and more resources are going to be required for you to pay for and do before the baby even gets here. And I guess we were wondering, or Pauline was wondering, she wanted us to do an episode about this, or at least the topic about the societal norms that women need material things to feel appreciated, validated, loved, and would jump on any reason to request it of their man.
I think my initial response to that is that can be true for both sides, and true of a person depending upon their love language. I think if like gifts is your love language, which I feel like there is an expectation maybe that women like gifts, right? Like, or like you said, a societal norm that women like gifts. They like to be spoiled and given things.
Marketing.
Right, but that's society. So if there's this expectation that gifts are the best way to show appreciation for a woman, to show a woman that you love her, creating these milestones and attaching gifts to those milestones in some ways is a great way to be able to show that you love and you care for this person. That's where I think a part of that comes from. But the place where that gets tricky is if the person that you're with doesn't care about gifts or wants to receive love in a different way. Like a gift, cool, but quality time, great. If I had to choose between the push gift and the baby moon, I want the baby moon. I want us to be able to do something together and like really celebrate this time and have an opportunity to reflect on how far we've come and how far we still have to go. But like, this is our last time where it is just
going to be us two.
Yeah, just going to be us two.
After this, it's going to be a family of three or and then potentially four. It's just never going to be us two ever again until them kids leave. But even still, kids are going to be on the back of your mind.
Exactly. So this is our last opportunity to really have that selfish time to do what we want to do together. So I think that the societal part of it is based off of the idea that women love gifts, or gifts can be a major part of women's love language. And the best way to validate a woman is to get her gifts. And those gifts have to be expensive.
That part, at least the things that are marketed are always, expensive.
Yeah.
I think another thing they mentioned, it was like the promise ring, engagement ring, marriage ring, push ring, anniversary ring. I had never heard of that one before, but I guess you, in addition to that, to add to it. So maybe I have heard of something like that, but
or you upgrade the ring after a certain amount of time, you get a new one.
And then it was like, to the fact, most baby showers are for women. The wedding is for the woman. Valentine's Day is for the woman. Anniversary leans more heavily towards women. Women take over Father's Day if the dad ain't even in the picture. So it's like, you got Mother's Day and then Father's Day come around. Like, no, I'm the mother and the father, so I'm getting Father's Day. I'm like, jeez, right? Jeez, right? So it you raised a good point, because women like this type of. Women like this stuff. I mean, that's not even something we can argue. We can debate, because the marketing bears out. The fact that if you don't propose with a ring, it's very few women who won't feel a type of way about it. There are even some women who have an expectation of what the ring is going to look like. And if it's not that, it's over with.
Try again.
Try again.
I'll give you another chance.
Yes. So it is a topic that, I don't think we necessarily explore more, but maybe not because of women just wanting more shit, which we could talk about, but I'm thinking maybe it's time that men, start being a little bit louder, like, hey, we like being appreciated too. And I'm saying, all of the things that women want to be celebrated for. It's not like it's just you here. Like when it comes to like the wedding and the Valentine's Day, I'm here too. I'm there too. But I guess perhaps not enough emphasis is put on doing the things or experiencing the things that the men would find enjoyable. The emphasis is just like do the things that women want to do. During Valentine's Day, women want to do X, Y, and Z. It's never like, hey, this Valentine's Day, let's do something that the man want to do. Let's go to the game. Let's go. I got some tickets for it. Let's go out. It's gonna be real romantic. We're gonna be together. We're gonna have matching outfits, that type of stuff. It's never nothing tailored towards the man. Let's lean a little bit to the side of what the man enjoys or what the man wants to do. Is always towards the woman, and it's a little frustrating when I think about it. It's like, damn, we're not even allowed to want nothing. How dare we making a thing? I was like, you know what? Freak it. I want an engagement ring.
I think that's fair. I think I agree with you that men deserve to be appreciated as well. Especially when that appreciation is given, right? Like if you're appreciating me, how dare I not return the favor by appreciating you? I just think that it looks different. I don't necessarily think that men want, or I don't think that all men fall into the category where they want a celebration in the form of a gift or a lavish anything.
Agreed.
And often, as a woman, if you're with a man and you're trying to maybe reciprocate, I want to get you a gift, I want to do something, and you ask, what do you want? What would you be interested in? And you coming up crickets, like they're not giving you anything. In the same way that there is all of this hoopla, there are a lot of things that are marketed to men that make it a lot easier for you to just be like, oh,
there's a whole
women like this.
Valentine's Day, the store turns into Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
like,
I ain't gotta even think about this.
Yeah.
And I think that there isn't that same experience for women. And so there's a heavier lift. And sometimes in that lift, you're looking for your partner to be like, actually, I would like this. I would desire this. And I don't know if that's always met with an answer.
It's not, because to your point, since you were a little girl, you've been told and shown that, these things are things that women of stature, women who are about to get married, these are the things that they like. These are the things that they want. Oh, word, that's what it is. I want those things too. As a man, we don't get like from a little boy like, hey, yo, when you as a married man, these are the things that the woman is going to get for you. These are the things that you're going to be able to experience. That's going to be great for you. These are the things we don't grow up thinking that. A woman asking a man within a relationship, a woman asking a man, hey, what you want for your birthday? What you want for X, Y, and Z? That's probably the first time they probably got asked that since they was a little kid. And now we used to, and then the things that I could ask for you, in our mind is just like, I can get it myself. I've gone, because that's the message that's been presented to us. Like, if we want anything, we got to go get it. Don't expect anybody to get it for you, but be prepared to do everything and get everything for your woman, because that's what men do. That's what you were placed here to do. That's what you got to do. If you can't do that, you're less than. So you grew up, and then that's just what it is. And then a woman who cares is like, hey, I want to celebrate you too. I want to do things for you, things that you would love. Tell me what that is. I'm like, oh shit, like, I ain't never been asked that for. Give me a second. The first thought is like, nah, I don't need nothing too crazy. I'm good. Like, I don't even want to celebrate I don't need to celebrate my birthday. It's something basic, something simple, but I can't give you an answer because I've literally never had to think about that. No one has ever, damn, boy, they really working on that roof up there, boy. Oh my God.
That vibration is like literally right on top of us.
Yeah, but to my point, it's just, I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only man who experiences this dissonance of coming across a woman that's not your mom, who takes an active care in what you want and what you like when it comes to like gift giving and things of that nature. For a lot of men, I can't say because I haven't counted all men. For a lot of men, like, we stopped getting presents when, like, before high school, for real, before you even graduated high school. So it's not in our mind to want or need or request or demand or what have you, these things. Because even now, even when men are finally starting to stand up and say, hey, we have these wants and needs too. We like these things too. We getting yelled down at, like, you being sassy. I'm like, oh, so now you coming from our manhood now for having the audacity to want something. So what are we supposed to do? And then we hear, men don't tell us nothing. It's so hard to shop for men. We understand. We understand.
You made it that way. This is your bed. Lay in it.
On the low. But that being said, it is up to us to change that narrative. By us, I mean men. We got to change that narrative. If we want to get ready, we got to open our mouth. Closed mouths don't get fed. We got to talk about it. Like, hey, we in this relationship. It's not just you having this baby. I'm having a baby too. Where's my shit at? Where's my love? You going for a spa day? I agree with you. I like it. I'm never wanting to take that away from you. But my feet hurt too.
Not your feet.
I want a massage too. I want something that's gonna make it easy for me to be a dad. What's up? Can I get the little baby backpack? Can I get something too? Please. With cherries on top. You know, I 50% of this work. I did 50% of the work. And with some women, I did 100% of the work, 99%. I'm just saying.
Not a pillow princess.
They out there.
Did you get it all off your chest?
It felt so good to get that off my chest.
Dang.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Rob and Pauline. I thank y'all for this question, for bringing this up. I didn't even know. Oh, it feels so relieving.
It was big rant energy. Okay,
it was
Kanye?
big rant. Stop. Don't do that.
Who else has a famous rant? I'm not calling you Kanye because you're crazy.
I know, but he's just the most famous ranter in recent history. Fair enough. But it felt good. Very cathartic. That being said, we're gonna wrap it up, but wrap this part up. I'm gonna finish my talk about something that Rob shared with me, because Rob just had a kid. Rob and Pauline just had a kid, and he indicated, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna hit him up and be like, "Yo, can I drop this?" And if you say no, I'm just gonna cut this out, so you may not even hear it. So yeah, Pauline had mentioned to him that the most heartfelt moment she had after having the baby was him thanking her for the sacrifice and being there during the delivery, and him just being there during the delivery and doing everything that he could to support her throughout the time. And I felt, and I hit, and I felt that I was like, that's real. That is something that I can imagine. Rob hearing that from her must have felt fucking amazing, because I've never heard any woman ever in life speak about this, say like, "Oh, I'm just so grateful that my man was there and held me down through this whole thing." Like, I had these moods. I went through ups and downs with my mood swings and X, Y, and Z, and he was there. He was patient with me. He held my hand throughout. He showed off he was there with me through all the doctor's appointments. He was there through the Moz classes. He took off time for work, like randomly, just to make sure he was present and support me. I've never heard any woman speak about that during, like, of their experience when it comes to being pregnant and having kids. And him saying that to me, I was like, oh my God, I've never heard that before. And I'm not even him. And I felt, thank you. So, and I also recognize, like, being that is a role, that is a vital and an important role that men do all of the time that goes unremarked upon, goes unthanked. Maybe it happens in the privacy of their home or something like that. Maybe, the wife says this or that. But I'm just saying, like, I've never heard my mom say, "Yo, I was thankful for my dad, for your dad being there through the pregnancy." I've never heard anybody say that. So it's good that I'm very happy that Rob was able to experience that, because I can only imagine how it must have felt.
I feel you, babe. I agree. I think that your role as a caretaker throughout my pregnancy is,
in the future,
I'm not pregnant right now, is something that I will appreciate. I appreciate the way that you take care of me now. I don't think that I am naive or ignorant to the fact that there are specific ways that having you in my life is a benefit to me, and that you do take care of me, and you are patient with me. And I try to show appreciation for that. So I agree. I'm not a part of what the experience of hearing you express how you're feeling is me being like, how much of this is a reflection of how he feels in this relationship versus how much of this is a reflection of how he feels about relationships in general. And I have to remind myself that you were usually talking about the in general, that like in general this doesn't happen, and I'm passionate about this happening for other people as well as for me. I don't think that I should be the only person who deserves to experience like this level of care. So I have to keep that in mind and temper my response with like,
nigga, what you trying to say?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not subbing you at all. It was more of a self-realization for myself, because I didn't even think, when I think about being pregnant with your significant other, your wife, your partner, what have you, I'm thinking like most people, I guess, would think it's just like the woman is bearing the brunt of that. I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? Like she's doing all of the work. But in hearing or in this case reading what Rob said that she said to him made me realize like, oh shit, like I do play a very pivotal role, or I will play a very pivotal role in that whole process. And I've never even recognized it for myself. And being like, oh shit, like my role is going to be super, super fucking important. Yeah. And I need to give that the weight that it deserves. And it wasn't until that text message I was like, oh shit, like that's real. I've never really considered that at all. And now that I consider it, it's like, damn, everybody need to consider that.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right, babe. Your role is very important. The only way that I can get through this is with a circle of support. Yes, I am the person. It's like an athlete, right? Like, yes, you see the athlete go out there and perform. They get all the glory. They get all the accolades. But in that thank you speech, they thank their coach and their trainer and their partner for supporting them. Yeah, their mom. Like, there are so many people who were a part of getting me to this point right here, right now. And you'll be the person who is walking beside me the entire time. And so of course I'm going to be thankful for you, because without you being there I would be doing it alone, and that would be a totally different experience and even more stress on me. So
that's real. Yeah. I never once doubted that you would.
I know, babe. But yeah, I'd be having to remind myself that I'm like, he passionate.
I didn't even think about. I didn't even think about how you could have taken that. Yeah, it's not true.
He can't be talking about your girl.
Yeah, my baby one of them ones. And that's why I put a ring on it.
Period.
So yeah, once again, appreciate the request, Rob and Pauline. I hope we were able to discuss it in the manner that you like. I guess if you have any other input,
that you were hoping for.
Yeah, you're hoping for it. Hit us up.
It'll be a different conversation once we're actually in it. Yeah, so when it is our turn, I'm sure we'll be able to have this conversation on or off camera. And be like, woo, y'all wasn't lying, huh?
Yeah. I on the low, I think Rob is looking forward to it. It's like, I can't wait. But like I'm telling you how it is, and like you're not feeling me. You're not hearing me right now.
Yeah.
But you gonna feel it, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, boy. I'm gonna have that smirk on my face, and yeah, boy, I empathize. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Yeah. That's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting time. So yeah, I'm soaking up all the game that I possibly can from Rob. So you might need to document your journey, my guy. You know,
keep a Google Doc. Everybody's gonna be in that space at different stages. So we all need to refer back to support group.
How do you keep your mind right? You know what I'm saying? How do you make sure you take time for yourself? What is your time management strategies? How did they change throughout the process? Or, adjustments that you see, patterns that you notice, write all those things down, because I'm sure somebody, I mean me, will be very interested in that information. All right. That being said,
I feel like you're a couple pounds lighter now that you
might be
got all that off your chest.
Yeah. And did.
And
do. How you feel?
I feel good. We ready?
You ready to wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
There, we're going to wrap it up here, y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Flat screen. Plasma
is so 2002.
I'm pretty sure that song
Are you? Oh, that's a bar.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Got you. Came out in like 2002, probably. But yeah, we appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Buffet Podcast, brought to you by your favorite hosts, Brandan and Ciandra. So, if you made it this far, you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what to tell you, but subscribe. Yeah, we hope y'all tune in to another episode next week. We appreciate y'all. We finna get up out of here and probably eat some sushi. Have a good time. Peace.
Bye.